Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Decentralized Chain. It's Feroz bringing you the latest news, reviews, and blockchain tech. If this is your first time here and you want to learn more about upcoming ICOs and general crypto related stuff, start now by subscribing and hitting the bell notification icon below so you don't miss anything. Right, so today we are going to be reviewing Enosi. It is a blockchain for energy ICO. Now you might be thinking, great, here is another one to add to the list of 120 odd organizations involved in blockchain for energy. However, I've had a few people in my community point out that this seems like a great contender against the likes of Powerledger and WePower, so certainly worth a closer look. Now, Enosi is an open source energy platform looking to challenge the energy corporations, making the green energy space more efficient and transparent, enabling communities, small businesses, startups to focus on value-added clean energy without so many barriers. Now, looking at the white paper, Enosi have classified the problem as Grid 1.0. So the Grid 1.0 model has locked unnecessarily high costs into the energy supply chain. We also have high-cost power plants constructed near fossil fuel sources, often requiring long transmission lines to transport energy to the demand, not to mention an impact that it has on the surrounding environment. And as we can see in the diagram, when generation is centralized, it becomes natural to design power networks as a largely radial construct, adding further unreliability to the designs. The answer is Grid 2.0. This steps away from the current centralized model to a decentralized model. And here we can have number one, cost, right? Lower cost from solar generation located close to the demand. Number two, we've got potentially hundreds of sources available to supply local communities. And thirdly, we've also got a wider grid which enables energy exchanges between them. So this really allows capitalization of recent innovations such as rooftop solar electricity, intelligent IoT appliances, low-cost battery storage, and electric vehicles. In comparison, the Grid 1.0 architecture becomes a less cost-effective approach to deliver electricity. Now, whilst this is all well and good, to disrupt energy markets, the main problem to solve is to fully commoditize the components of the supply chain and thereby reduce the barriers to entry and monopoly rents. So this is where Enosi is focusing their efforts by leveraging smart meter technology that is digitizing energy data, and secondly, using this data with blockchain technology to deliver, firstly, a more efficient transactive services platform, helping to power barriers or to lower barriers of entry and access to markets. Secondly, greater access for secure competition through the value chain, through a trusted transactive platform. Thirdly, the ability for distributed renewable generation to be accessed through community energy schemes and markets, and thereby providing a decentralized and affordable renewable energy generation. And lastly, market-led adoption of decentralized energy solutions, providing greater regularity confidence in the benefits of continued market deregulation. Now, looking at the platform from a business perspective, we have a number of roles engaging with the platform. Let's start with the Enosi platform. It's powered by smart contracts. These smart contracts allow the formation of distributed autonomous organizations. So the Enosi DAO will govern and manage relationships between retail license holders, neo-retailers, and members. We also have the retailers, often representing community-based organizations interested in offering their members community energy sharing scheme of some type. There will also be licensed retail suppliers. They are participating electricity suppliers who supply direct to consumers and hold a license to conduct this activity in accordance with the licensing requirements to the relevant region. The Enosi dApp will allow these licensed suppliers to register and advertise themselves to communities, creating a marketplace for their services and further competition. And then lastly, we also have oracles. One critical physical interface for the ecosystem is energy metering, so to inform the platform participants of the members' energy consumption and production. So an oracle would also be required to pre-process the data stream before submission to the Enosi blockchain energy transactions. Upon the platform and within each community, the neo retailer has the ability to offer various products or applications and services. Now, there is a detailed list in the white paper for both, but some of the current applications being developed or intended to be developed by Enosi and their partners are peer-to-peer energy trading, microgrid peer-to-peer energy trading, and also wholesale market trading, to name a few. But definitely check out the white paper, because there is a very lengthy list that goes into detail around all of the various applications that are intended to be developed on the Enosi platform. Now, the token utility, the Joule, is an ERC20 based token that will be used to provide access to the Enosi platform functions and services, and gives the token holder the ability to perform certain actions within the ecosystem. First of all, we've got access and staking. The advantage to the Joule token utility is that it is a true utility token in the sense that it powers the network and stays inside of it. In order for neo retailers to participate in the platform, they need to purchase tokens on behalf of their customers or members. Now, this scenario is presented in the white paper and shows the stake token amount is relative to 10% of the customer's fiat bill. As you can see, based off the 8-cent ICO token price and from an average customer bill of $1,500, for each customer the neo retailer brings onto the platform, they would need to stake 1,875 tokens for each customer. At 400,000 customers on the platform, which Enosi expects to have on the platform within the first year, that would result in 750 million tokens being locked from a total 1 billion token supply. As we've seen with staking, this does tend to have an upward pressure on the token price, as that 10% is pegged to the fiat price of the bill. So as the ecosystem grows and more customers come on board, the token price should naturally have to increase due to there being an undersupply of tokens able to be locked at the initial ICO price. Now, the important aspect to note is neo retailers will need to purchase these tokens from the open market, such as exchanges. They will not be available for purchase via Enosi directly at any stage or point in time, and that the end user themselves never touches the token, so customers continue to pay their bill in fiat. This is obviously great for adoption, as it reduces a friction point for end users coming onto the platform, as this is all handled by the neo retailer. We then also have incentivization, so rewards for increasing community growth and participation, actions leading to low carbon outcomes, establishment of new communities, and also decentivization for poor community behavior. There is also stewardships of the Enosi DAO, and the examples could be creating membership rules, adjusting pricing and limits, or appointing a new member to take on the role of the DAO creator. And then lastly, we have stewardships of the platform itself. So once a significant number of members have joined the Enosi Foundation, Joule holders will be able to make proposals with respect to a limited number of domains to the Enosi Foundation and its open source community. The core team itself is split into three. We have the management team, consisting of the CEO, Steve Hoy, has over 3 decades of energy industry experience, as well as experience with blockchain around Hyperledger, whilst working for the likes of IBM as an associate partner and PwC prior. We also have Bill Barden, the COO, so over 30 years of experience working across banking, finance, for the likes of Societe Generale and HSBC. We then have the energy experts, who are also co-founders of Enosi. Not only do they all have relevant industry experience directly related to the direction of Enosi, but also have great track records in consultancy and management. And then lastly, we have Flora Edwards, Director of Marketing. In addition to academic marketing qualifications, she also has held long-term positions in relevant marketing roles, such as Strategy Director for Clicked On Marketing for over 5 years. Enosi have also partnered with Block8, who are subject matter experts in blockchain developments with previous experience in partnering with prior ICOs, and are also incubators for blockchain projects. They have also partnered with Wolf Crypto, blockchain consultants, and marketeers. Now, they have a number of advisors linked to well-known ICOs such as Phantom also. And lastly, Enosi has secured partnerships and agreements with various energy retailers and players in the industry, including California Clean Energy Foundation, Energy Locals, DC Power, Solar Analytics, a core number who are also co-founders of Enosi, Australian Photovoltaic Institute, and signed a cooperative research agreement with the University of South Wales. Now, the roadmap goes into 2020. Key dates to pull out are Q3 for their MVP in collaboration with Solar Analytics and Energy Locals, with a demo already available on their site. We then have Q4 for the first production release of the Enosi platform. This will connect solar owners with non-solar owners through a shared electricity trading platform in the Australian market, enabling solar homeowners or businesses to select from a range of options for how they sell their surplus solar and non-solar households, to choose from whom and what price they want to buy this surplus solar. For the token metrics, so the token sale, they're looking to raise $28 million, which personally to me does seem on the higher side given the market conditions. We have a total supply of 1 billion tokens, with 45% being made available for sale. Maximum bonuses handed out is 20% for purchases over $1 million. However, these bonuses are locked for 3 months and vested thereafter over a 12-month period. So we've got a long lock. The founders have 11.5% with a token lock of 12 months released monthly, and thereafter 12 months thereafter. I personally think founders should have their tokens locked for at least 24 months. That's just my personal opinion. The staff have 9% locked for 6 months, released monthly for 12 months after. And lastly, I'm assuming partners and advisors taking 7.5% with tokens locked for 6 months, released monthly for 12 months after. The remaining split across future partners, reserves and devs seem to fall in line with percentages you'd expect from ICOs in general. For the awareness of the project, to me this does feel very under the radar, certainly given the team's experience and partners involved. Twitter has around 4,000 followers and Telegram with around 1,800 at the time of making this video. In terms of my final thoughts for the project, it's a 4. I like the idea, and clearly it's aimed at the future where home solar panels and distributed energy grids are increasingly normal. I mean, I can walk down the street today and see that there are so many houses with solar panels on their roof. It's becoming the norm already. If we compare them with competitors like PowerLedger and WePower, it does feel like Enosi is providing the best of both. I think the trade-off here is Enosi is marketing themselves for an effective solution of tomorrow at the cost of banking on solar being the way forward. In comparison to PowerLedger, the trade-off can be seen as being able to create a system for quick adoption today at the cost of losing market share to Enosi's vision of tomorrow. For the prototype is a 5. They already have a MVP in collaboration with their partner organization Solar Analytics as a neo retailer and Energy Locals as their first licensed retail supplier, and the demonstration version of this is on their website. Better still, I had the pleasure of speaking to Steve Hoy, the CEO of Enosi, and Matt Hale. Thank you, Steve and Matt, for joining me today. Really, firstly, to tell us a bit more about the Enosi platform and for us to actually know a bit more about both of you. And also, you're going to be doing a live demo of your MVP as well. So, Steve, if you wouldn't mind, over to you. Who are you? What's so great about you? And blockchain and energy. How did it all come together for you?
Yeah, I'm the chief executive of Enosi, and I was brought into the project pretty much for my background in the power sector, having kind of 35 years as originally a power engineer and ultimately working on large IT systems for utility companies. That's with PricewaterhouseCoopers and later with IBM over the last 20 years. So I've been doing technology strategy and architecture and implementation work across major building systems and SCADA control systems and all sorts of smart grid projects, including in the last 2 or 3 years a number of blockchain projects in the Netherlands and also in Australia for those large incumbent utilities. And I guess through that process, one thing I did learn was those guys are really not going to disrupt themselves when it comes to new business models. So to get the chance to do that from the outside and make a true difference in the industry, I couldn't resist the Enosi opportunity. I grabbed it with both hands.
Wow. So, not only just do you know about energy, you also know about blockchain and implementing blockchain technology. So, I mean, that's very impressive.
That's okay. Yeah, as you'd be aware, IBM largely focuses on selling to large utilities, and they do that with their Hyperledger platform. But I think that the disruptive play lies outside the large utilities.
Okay, no, perfect. Thank you. So, Matt, if you wouldn't mind just introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about you.
Sure, my name is Matthew Hale and I'm the product owner for Enosi at Block8, which is Enosi's development partner. Block8's a leading blockchain venture firm based in Sydney, Australia. My personal background is I'm a physicist by trade, and I have been involved in the blockchain space for about 2 years now, and I've always been fascinated about the application of the technology to the energy sector. As a physicist, my specific background is in climate science, and so I have a very strong passion around solving problems to do with climate change. And when the opportunity came around to work on the Enosi project, it was a perfect fit for me.
Wow. So once again, I love the experience here. All I'm seeing is energy and blockchain, and I think it's really good in terms of the way that both yourself as. And actually, one of the other things I want to point out is, and I picked up on it earlier, is that you mentioned that you're a product owner for the Enosi platform. My background is within product design, so I'm completely very familiar with it. And one of the things I really want to, I appreciate it, what I really want to point out is when I was going through your white paper and on your site, you actually had in your roadmap user stories, which was a very first for me in terms of on anybody's roadmap. And I relate to it because I'm an agile practitioner. So I really appreciated seeing that, from a user's perspective, this is what you wanted to bring out. This is what you wanted to do within those. It might be some people viewing this thinking, what's he talking about? Check it out. Agile is really good. But, I was really impressed literally just with the way the whole actual project's rolling out, the way you've planned it, the way your roadmap is laid out as well, just because it's really easy for someone to understand what it is that you're bringing out. And actually to take that even one step further, you guys also have a platform which I believe Matt's going to be doing for us. So I would love to see that.
Yeah, sure, no worries. Let me just share my screen. Can you see it there?
Yep, perfect.
Excellent.
Yep, we got it.
So what you're seeing here is the Enosi MVP simulation. So this is a simulation of what different actors on the platform will be doing. So you can see you're viewing the demo from your perspective, so the my home perspective, which is represented by this icon here. And you have a number of other actors here on the screen. So at the top you have My Energy Friends. These are actors that you have a direct bilateral trading relationship with. So you've come to some agreement with them about how much you want to sell your energy to them for. So for example, you might want to donate some of your excess solar energy to your mum, or sell at a higher price than your feed-in tariff to your neighbor. Or perhaps you want to sell to a local hospital or a primary school. Then on the right-hand side here, you have all of the other participants in your community, which would be Bondi locals, as represented here. So these are all the other participants who you're able to trade with, but who you do not have a direct bilateral relationship with. Then at the bottom here, you have the grid, or in this case, your energy retailer, who you would receive your default energy tariff from. Now, if you want to have a look at the specific trades that you've undertaken in the simulation, you can click the View Last 24 Hours button here, and up pops a time slider, and you can use that time slider to really cycle through the last 24 hours worth of data. You can see it's nighttime now, so you're receiving all of your power from the grid, which is to be expected if there's no solar being produced. And then back here, you can start to see some of the other trades occurring. So in this case, you have a trade coming from the My Home entity yourself, the My Home entity, through to the community. This particular screen is also highlighting another point, that you can actually both buy and sell energy at the same time. Scrolling back more in time, we'll start to see a few of the other trades that have occurred over the last 24 hours. Including this one here, which is trading to your mum in this case. Now, one of the other things you can do with this platform is have a look at the summary data. So here you can see a summary of the amounts of energy that you've exported to different entities in the ecosystem. So the My Energy Friends group, your community as a whole, and then to the grid as well. And having a look at the My Community icon over there, you can see summary statistics of how well the community is performing over the last month or so. You can see not only the amount of energy that's been traded, but the amount of carbon emissions that has been saved as a result. Then you also have, on the navigation tab over here, the ability to view your specific community rules that have been arranged by members of the community, as well as some statistics about your home energy consumption and production. So for example, you'll be able to see how well your solar system is producing solar energy and how much energy you're consuming at different times of the day. And then obviously you want this final tab over here is demonstrating the fact that you are connected to the blockchain, at least in our simulation over here. Steve, is there anything else you'd like to add to the demo?
I think Matt, that's great. Just showing the key functions there, and basically giving the idea about how we can trade energy. The concept here is for a community energy scheme where the community brings these people together and they decide to trade amongst themselves. So it enables things like peer-to-peer trades, but also trades that are specific to that community, which might mean donating to the church, or it might mean a particular deal being done.
Can I ask one question, Steve? So, I mean, we're seeing an MVP simulation here as well. Is any of this actually happening live today?
Yeah, it's interesting. We're already trading literally between the team members. So we've already done the deal with our local energy supplier, one of our partners, and we're measuring outputs from one team member's roof, and I'm buying his solar at the moment, which is quite fun. And that retail partner, Energy Locals, is launching a product in the fourth quarter this year to basically sell these community schemes into its customer base. So we're very excited about that.
That's absolutely amazing. So you actually got adoption. I'm going to say, and it's going to be wide scale adoption eventually, but you've got adoption there, and it's happening in the real world, which is always amazing to see in any given blockchain associated project.
Yeah, and it's going global really quickly. We have interests from all over the world. Today I'm in Singapore and talking with some solar groups here, looking to establish energy communities amongst their customers. We're looking at a project in Canada. We have a project lined up in the Bahamas even. And wow. We're looking to do deals with retail suppliers in Japan in particular, where the market just opened up a year ago. So it's an exciting time.
No, it is, and I wish you and the project all the success. So, Steve, Matt, thank you so much for taking the time to just tell us a bit about yourselves, and also to take us through this MVP, as well as knowing that you clearly have work happening in the background with energy supplies as well. So, thank you both, and I look forward to speaking to you guys soon.
Pleasure.
I hope you enjoyed that little mini interview and demo. For the team, it's a 4. They all know their field and they know their stuff, and they have decades of experience between them. Whilst they may be lacking in core blockchain development experience, I don't think it really matters, as they have brought in partners to fill that skill gap. Advisors and partners for me is a 5. I'm really impressed in general. They have Block8 and Google Crypto as their blockchain technology partners. They have a number of advisors all linked to high profile ICO projects such as Phantom, and they also have secured partnerships and agreements with various energy retailers and players in the industry, which is what you need for adoption. Token metrics for me is a 3. I personally find the hard cap on the higher side given the current market conditions. I would also like to see the founders, staff and partners lock up to be slightly longer. However, I do like the locks and the bonus, which always helps with price stability when it first hits the exchanges. In terms of awareness for me is a 2. It's not a negative, but I suspect once marketing and roadshows ramp up, this project will certainly gain traction fairly quickly. So thanks for tuning in to the review. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, like and share the content. It helps the channel grow and stay updated on the latest news and reviews. So see you next time.